this happened to have just dropped, which is this director's take. And it's an Alec Dawson director's take. I thought director's take was always from Aaron, but I guess Alec is technically a director now, just not game director. He's just, yeah, okay. All right, let's go. Hey everyone, I'm back with another philosophy-filled director's take that tackles an important set of goals we're trying to accomplish on the Overwatch team. More transparency, more information, and more power to you. I don't think I'm gonna get in trouble in this, but hopefully I don't. But one of the last ones that I read, one of the last director's take, there was a part of it that I took a little, it wasn't like an actual issue, it was just like more of like a preference, was I like kind of knowing who's writing these, right? Or at least who it's coming from, just to know like what team is behind it. And I got messaged after telling like, oh, because it was a group of people, it was like 4 or 5 different devs that like all partook in it. That's why they didn't put names, because like they just didn't want to like put 5 names down. They didn't think of it. But I think they're going to probably start doing that more in the future. So I actually completely can speak, at least on this part, that they do want to do more transparency, because they didn't have to go out of their way to message me and be like, oh, just so you know, like it was these people and like we heard you on that, you know, this was the reason why we didn't. And I was like, no, like I wasn't you know what I mean? Like I wasn't trying to like come at them or anything like that, but I do appreciate the sentiment. Anyways, let's keep going. Map voting data is an excellent example of these goals in action. We regularly hear from more vocal players about their personal experiences, which can lead other players to believe the reality for everyone. At competitive ranks above Masters 5, Control is the most popular game mode, followed by Flashpoint and Push. What? This one I believed wholeheartedly, no problem. Flashpoint and Push, interesting. But when you look at the ranks below Masters 5, where most players statistically spend their time, Hybrid is the most played mode, and Flashpoint is the least selected mode. I'm actually not surprised by that at all. And now that I'm thinking about it, I guess it kind of makes sense. Can I be honest with you? I think I have a theory of why this is correct. I don't believe that. I actually do believe it. I'll tell you why I believe it. I think most of the people that are playing in Masters 5 and above these days are Overwatch 2 players, not Overwatch 1 players. I think most of the Overwatch 1 players who were high rank have either quit by now or became Omega casuals and just play with friends or don't care that much about ranked anymore. And now they are no longer above the Masters bucket because of the ranked resets over the years. They're actually probably more a part of the below Masters bucket. And so those players loved Hybrid, Escort, and Control. And the data lines up with that. Hybrid is maps like King's Row, Numbani, Escort being maps like Watchpoint, Gibraltar, etc. And then Control actually being a step down also kind of mirrors that, because I remember back, at least in Overwatch 1, if you ever talked about people's favorite maps, number 1 was always King's Row, number 2 was typically Lijiang Tower, but then none of the other Control maps were ever really in the top 5. There was like other maps would always be up there for people. And as Overwatch 2 has progressed, I'd argue that people don't like even King's Row as much anymore, myself included. I don't think it hits as hard, probably because of 5v5, TBH. But I think I started to like a lot of the maps I used to love a lot less. And a lot of the new gen players like these newer... What the... Hang on, I got an important call. One sec. Anyways, sorry for the massive break in between. I don't even remember what I was talking about now, because I had a very important phone call I had to take, and that was like literally 20 minutes. So, my bad. Let's keep it moving. I think I said everything I was going to say about this. Let's keep going. So if you're in Silver and convinced you're always playing hybrid maps, and your friend is in Masters, convinced that they're rarely seeing hybrid maps, you'd both be correct based on the reality built by your personal Overwatch environments. That environment creates a reality that is around you that is entirely factual, at least from where you're standing. That is so true about so many things. Especially like balance takes or hero takes, right? Like if a certain character is like really strong. For example, some people might say Sojourn's really strong, right? But in like gold, Sojourn's actually not, like you almost never see her, or she never really goes crazy. That's like an easier one to spot though than others. But there's a lot of times that happens where both actually end up being true, but if the other one says something the other one will get mad because they don't think it's true because they're not experiencing it, even though they're both correct in their own way, you know? This is something we often consider when implementing improvements and changes to Overwatch. Some changes, like balance tuning, might feel odd if you aren't in the rank threshold we are targeting with a specific adjustment. Wait, we just talked about that. With that in mind, we've been thinking about what we can do to broaden your perspective. Learning and discovery. I might be aging myself here, but do you remember when all of the answers to a brand new video game weren't instantly accessible? When I used to go to local fighting game tournaments and someone whipped out a new combo, we'd all learn it in real time as a community and add it to our repertoire. Things have changed over the years, but as designers, we still like to chase that experience through deep discovery windows. Think of discovery windows as the amount of time it takes players to figure out the best way to handle big changes, like the new perks or new heroes. It's that time where everyone is learning things together and things aren't min-maxed yet. Things can feel a little messy, but that's the part that makes the discovery window special. The discovery window is my personal favorite time in games. Everyone throws theories and ideas at the wall to see what sticks, and experimentation leads to innovation that can even surprise and inspire our team. That's so true. You know what? It's funny. Because this is Overwatch, I'll say there was a time in Rivals where I was talking about something and I had a take where basically like gaming has changed forever because of like the internet with TikTok especially. And what I was saying in Rivals was I think Rivals right now, like player skill wise, is already approaching like 2018 Overwatch. And the reason I think they're so hyper accelerated is one, they have a game that they can point at and learn from, and two, the internet, right? Like TikTok has made information so much more accessible to the average gamer, because before you had to look up a YouTube video, right? And even if you looked up the YouTube video, you might not even know it existed, right? Like did you know, like, did the people in 2016 Overwatch know about CarQ's one tip for every hero series? Probably not, right? Like, not the average gamer. It was like more of the hardcore gamers. So the average gamer has gotten so much better, and the information is so much more accessible now. And much more out there. It's why, like, if you don't play a game within like the first like day or two or three of its release, like you start seeing spoilers all over the place. You start seeing like everyone's min-maxing like how to do builds or how to do like certain like whatever things. And like a lot of people say like that's the sweats ruining gaming. And in some ways they may be correct, but it's not actually any different than what it had been before. All it is now you can see it. It's like the same phenomenon when people think like things are more dangerous outside, and it's like, no, things are not more dangerous, like, depending. It's like you just see it more because it's on the news more, or you had whatever, right? You just see it in front of your face, and because you see it in front of your face and it's being highlighted, you think it's happening more often, but it's just the illusion of it happening more often. Let's move on. Social media can be a double-edged sword when it comes to discovery windows. Well, dude, all right, you're kind of scaring me a little bit here, Alec. Nothing brings community together more than working through the same puzzle and trying new strategies with friends and teammates. So the conversation after an impactful update is always amazing to see. On the other hand, there always seems to be a race to crack the code of a new patch, and many people market their solution as the best option. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's reasonable for people to seriously consider what they're playing and how to maximize their success. But there's an innate risk of cutting your own discovery window and the joy of that process. When you simply can accept answers handed to you instead of seeking your own solutions. When information is available to everyone equally, the opportunity to make your own judgments is also distributed equally. That's really true. Armed with truth. Offering you more real-time information about Overwatch may risk cutting that discovery window on our end, but our team is willing to take that risk in hopes that providing more visibility leads to a deeper understanding of what we do and why we do it. Whoa, is there a way to do that by making the discovery window easier to navigate? Wait, armed with truth, I just realized, holy shit. And we think so. An upcoming website we've been working on with the Battle.net team called Hero Stats will also offer information many of you have been fiending for. Win rates, pick rates, and other deep dive data will soon be available for everyone to analyze. And we can't wait for see what the community does with all those beautiful numbers. Here's a sneak peek from the team with placeholders, not real data. Oh my God, chat. Rivals is by far the greatest thing that has ever happened to Overwatch, and it's not even close. You know what's funny? And Overwatch it looks like it's doing a slightly better version. Input, region, map, quick play, and roll. They added maps to this. That's crazy. I wonder if the input counts for PC, like controller. I wonder if that's also in there. No shit. This is why having competition is a good thing in the industry. Absolutely. And I gotta say right now, as someone who is one of the most outspoken Rivals advocates when the game came out, is, hey, you should want to have both games do well. And I was absolutely ridiculed up and down the streets in the Rivals land for talking about Overwatch. And now, I'm not gonna lie, the Rivals people were really annoying to Overwatch people. But now that Rivals has kind of started to fall off a little bit, well, in a lot of it compared to what it was, and it's definitely leveled back out, now I see Overwatch people constantly throwing shade at Rivals. And it's like, brother, you are no better. You are literally two sides of the same coin. And I see so many people that were throwing stones back, or were getting mad that Rivals people were throwing stones at Overwatch, or are now throwing stones back. And it's like, that's not helpful either way. So I'm happy to see that they're getting things, and you should want to have two cakes. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, I mean, I can tell. I could probably, off the top of my head, think of like 20 different Twitter accounts and at least 3 or 4 different YouTube channels that I've seen that like were really upset during those times where people were being really annoying from Rivals towards Overwatch, that are now doing it right back. Just saying. Like, I'm just saying what I've noticed and what I've seen with my own eyes. Anyways, let's keep moving. Data displayed is not actual game data for demonstrative purposes only. In addition to being able to source data online, we're also keen on giving you more information inside of Overwatch. We don't want to give too many Season 18 spoilers away, but one feature we think you'll be really excited about is the advanced info panel. Ever wondered about the fall-off range of Cassidy's weapon, or the exact amount of headshot damage Hanzo's Stormbow does? You'll soon be able to find that all out without leaving the game client. Whoa, our next developer update will have all the details soon. Wait, so they just basically took the workshop game mode where you could figure out what the exact numbers were and decided to finally put it in the game? Hey, you know what? I know a lot of people are going to say finally, and I already see a few of them, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Although a little bit of thing, you know. Anyways, let's continue. As a bonus, seeing the same concrete data our development team uses may help you better understand balance changes and tuning that might not apply directly to your personal Overwatch environment. Remember, data isn't the only thing we base changes on. That'd be a combination of intuition, feedback, and data. That I remember I used to say to them all the time, was like, it can't always be data. It has to be data and art. It's like, it's numbers and art. It's an art form too, which I guess is intuition in this case. But this should help you understand what the data looks like when those decisions are made. Our goal is to keep Overwatch approachable and easy to pick up for new players. That's a whole different topic. I don't know about that one. But that doesn't mean those who crave more complex information can't have that option. The team and I believe that you're better off having the information put in front of you so you can choose how you want to use it to broaden your perspectives, increase your personal knowledge, and level up your Overwatch experience. Thanks for reading. Good game, and remember to endorse your tanks. All right. Yeah, you know what? Hey, I appreciate that last bit. I think, honestly, this is a very interesting one because I don't think Overwatch is very new player friendly at all in a lot of different ways. But then again, how many 8, 9, 10-year-old games are new player friendly? Especially PvP games. Is that a solvable issue? I don't know if it even is. So, regardless. But yeah, looks really, really, really good. I'm excited to see this. I'm going to have more stuff to look over next season. Hell yeah. Cool.